Premier League football return on your screens. It's match day 24 of the only league that matters. This time the train makes a stop in the central region of Ghana. Swedro, to be precise, where 11 Wonders, they have adopted the Swedro Stadium as their home venue in this mouth-watering clash against Nations FC. It promises to be an exciting game, the first of 9 games scheduled for match day 24 in the Ghana Premier League. As we graduate those if you want to stay updated with everything, every new league on X as well as Snap, and then also IG, Ghana Premier League on TikTok, YouTube, and then also on Facebook. And I have here with me my guest, and he's going to help me with the analysis throughout the game. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, but let's talk a bit about the Ghana Premier League. After 23 games, as at match day 21 or match week 21, it was an 8-point gap between Midiama, and the rest of the second place team. Now he's back to 3. How exciting has it been for you?
Seriously, this year the league has been very, very hot. Gradually, teams are picking up and they are coming. And this week, if they don't take time, it's going to change again.
But you look at how things are panning out now, and you think it's going to be that one-horse race, or you think the other teams below Midiama will continue to push up?
Other teams below Midiama can come up, but those that are chasing Midiama will continue doing their chase this week, because this week Midiama will be coming to Swedru, and I know it's not going to be an easy game for them, because All Blacks needed to win this game to progress, because they are in the red light. So if they don't win this game, it's also another thing. So All Blacks are going to, go all out to make sure they get something out of it. And if you look at the other fixture, the one that is sitting on the second position is also traveling to, I think, Hohoi or somewhere like that. And that is also not going to be an easy task for the team that is going out there. So the league has been, it has been good, and with your televising and other things, it has made the whole thing very nice for all of us to enjoy the league.
Pretty much exciting, building up towards the first game in match week 24 in the Ghana Premier League. 11 Wonders playing at home against Nations FC. It's now time to head for a commercial break. When we are back, we'll be taking a look at the fixtures that have been slated for this week, and then also we talk about featured match for today. Building up to our first game of match week 24 in the Ghana Premier League. 11 Wonders playing host to Nations FC here from the Swedro Sports Stadium. But then this is just the first of 9 games to happen this weekend in the Ghana Premier League. Let's go through the games coming up later this weekend in the GPL. Quite some interesting games to savor. You have the likes of Accra Hearts going away from home. Midiama also going away from home. But Kumasi Asante Kotoko, they will be playing at home on Sunday when they host Vision FC. So let's quickly go through our fixtures for match day 24, which starts here at the Swedro Stadium, where 11 Wonders, they are playing host to Nations FC. That game is our featured match of the day. Then on Sunday, Asante Kotoko return from Wing Chi with that comfortable win. They'll be hosting Vision FC at the Barbara Sports Stadium. Then you have Swedro All Blacks. They will also be here at the same venue. They will be playing against league leaders Mediama Sporting Club. Then to Tuba, you have Dreams FC also playing host to Ediana Football Club. Dreams are winless in their last 5 games. Ediana, they are also winless in their last 3. Pasakeoli Stars also will host Accra Hearts, Heart of Lions at Ampin AAK Sports Arena. Hohoi United, they return home to the Hohoi Stadium. They'll play Samatex. Brekum Chelsea will be up against Young Apostles. Bibiani Gold Stars, that should be the top liner for match week 24. They will be crossing blades with Accra Hearts. Then Bichim United at the Nanafosu Jiabo will also take on Karela United. Interesting fixtures coming up. 1 today, 8 more on Sunday. But then the standings, it's also getting quite interesting, at the top of the table as well as at the bottom of the table. Mediama Sporting Club, they are still top of the table with 45 points. You have Bibiani Gold Stars on 42, Hearts of Oak on 40, then Kumasi Asante Kotoko on 38. You have Ediana also on 38. So it's 7 points separating the top 5 teams. Samatex, Karela United, Heart of Lions, and Vision FC making the top 9. Then to the bottom, you have Bichim United 29, Basake Oli Stars. But Nations FC, they are in action. They are in 12th place. And then they are up against the team with the worst record in the division. You're talking about 11 Wonders. Just 9 points from 23 games. Not really good for them. But I'm still here with Nana Andy Sinasen, my guest. Nana Sinasen, how do you see that table? How is it shaping up after 23 match days?
I think if you look at the table very close and very well, you could see that the teams up will be changing themselves, and those at the relegation zone will also try to come out from the relegation zone. So it's going to be difficult. And you look at the games, Bibiani, the team that Bibiani is playing with, that's House of Folk. House of Folk is pushing up to come on top of the ladder. Whilst Bibiani is also pushing up to make sure he also get a very good position on the league table. But you look at the first position, that now is 3 points, whilst it was 7 points last week. If you look at it, then the league is going to be something else. The down, apart from the team that we're talking about, 11 Wonders, for them, we know they are gunners. But the rest of the teams, from the 9th position downwards, anybody at all can drop, because the points margin are very close. And if you look at the points margin and the games that are going on, by the close of the week, there will be some changes on the ladder.
But you look at the teams trailing Mediama Sporting Club, how many real contenders or challenges do we have? Is it just Gold Stars, the defending champions of the league, or we have Heart of Oak in the picture, we have Ediana and Kotoko, you believe?
If you look at the table very well, you could see that the teams that you mentioned, Ediana, Kotoko, Bibiani, are all in the race, and they can change things, because it was 7 points and we all thought everything is done and is done deal for Mediama. But all of a sudden the table has changed and things are not getting the way it's supposed to be with Mediama. So it's going to be a tough race, and when House of Folk and Kotoko start coming up, you can see that they have the do's and the don'ts in the game, and they know what to do at a particular time. So it's going to be a difficult task for Mediama.
All right, so still building up to our match of the day, Friday kickoff, 11 Wonders taking on Nations FC. But we'll be talking about Wonders in a bit. They've also not really been flamboyant. they've not really met expectations of their fans. But this is their first round start. You talk about 11 wonders. In 9 games at home in the first round of the Ghana Premier League, they only won 1 and drew 1 and lost as many as 7 games, scoring 8 and conceding 15. As against Nations FC, one of 3 teams yet to win away from home this season. They also played 8 away games. No wins. They are yet to win away from home. You're talking about Nations FC. They drew just once, lost 7, scored twice in the first round in away games, and also conceded 10. Doesn't look impressive. It doesn't.
Not at all. Not at all. But I look at 11 wonders. You see, when you qualify to the elite, you needed to have a home ground, because they have been moving left and right. Today they are here, tomorrow they are there, the next time they are here. So they don't have that consistency to to manage the team as they want to do, because the last time we heard they are in Accra, the next time they came to Sweden, the next time they left, the next time they are here. And when you are operating like that, normally it will not go well for the team. So I think 11 Wonders are their own enemies. That is what I can say. They are their own enemies. But if you look at the other team, the Nations FC has everything, but they didn't start the league very well, and that has caused them. I know with time, I think maybe they have to force themselves to come out of the relegation zone.
If you are the 11 Wonders coach, Emmanuel Edu, how do you psych up these players, especially when you know you are relegation bound? Yes, mathematically, it's possible that you could escape, but you are looking at reality and it doesn't look good. How do you psych them going into games like this?
When it gets to this stage, all that you need to tell the boys and all that you have to let the boys know is that they are playing for themselves and they are playing the game so that other teams will see them. So whichever team that they played against, they have to make sure they play well, because I know after the first round, some of the players have been purchased to other teams. So it's the same thing that they can do, so that they will also move to other teams. They are not bad players. They play good football, but it's just that things are not going the way it's supposed to go. And when it happens like this, all that you need to do as a player is to psych yourself up and make sure you do the needful for you to get other team. That's the next season. There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing, but you've also spoken about the fact that they've been nomads. They do not really have any recognizable place they call home. And that has really caused them. But what other factors would you also allude to their poor performances and the reason why they are lying bottom of the league log?
For that one, I cannot say much, because I don't know about their financial prowess. And on that aspect, you see, when things are not going well and the boys are not getting what they are supposed to get, and what surrounds this team was something else, because after they have qualified, some are saying the name is this, they are changing the name to that, and when all those things that went around the team is what has caused the team now.
Now let's talk a bit about Nations FC. Still winless away from home this season. Last season they were contenders. They pushed until they were docked 3 points for failing to hand a game, and then they eventually finished 5th. What's also wrong with Nations FC? You have this team that was playing so well under Kasim Mingo. Now Kasim Mingo has taken over Swedru All Blacks. They have Frimpong Manso, who has won the league before. What is wrong with them?
I think Nations started this league this season with a lot of players going out of the team, because if you could see, most of their players left and they started, but when they started to, even they all left, including the coach. You see, so normally it will affect the team, and it has taken time for the team to gel up. Frimpong went there and things were getting better, but before we realize things are changing, because up till date they are not winning away games, meaning they are not good travelers. And if you are not a good traveler and you are playing in the league, because at their home venues too, at times things are not happening the way it's supposed to happen, because they are drawing games to our home. If you are not a good traveler and you are winning all your home games, that will push you to the ladder and you can get something good out of it. But if you are not a good traveler and you are not good at home too, then my brother, it's a very difficult thing to talk about.
You talk about traveling. Let's look at this geographically, moving from the central area, you talk about the Ashanti region, all the way to this coastal areas. It's quite a long journey. They are not good travelers. Perhaps preparations going into their away games hasn't been top notch. But you look at the distance, does it take a toll on these players heading into games like this?
Most often, this is what we all came and met, because you travel from here to Tamale to go and honor a game.
Yeah.
So being a team, that's where and when you have to put things right, do things right, so that if you travel and you know today you are playing a game, you have to, at least the boys needed to come and rest for a day, at least a day before the game will commence. But you can't travel same day and come and honor a game from Kumasi, because from here to Kumasi is almost about 5 hours traveling. Yeah, you travel for 5 hours, because that is the least. That even means when you are using a car that can go to that extreme. So like seriously, our way of operating and doing our league is also something else that needed to be talked about, because even the scorches under the players even plays under is also something that we needed to look at it and see if our games can be pushed to 4 o'clock.
That could be a massive boost. But you look at Nations FC and they are away form. Looking at their away table, in 11 games, they've only scored 4 times away from home, conceding 15. Now, if you're a coach, if you are from Manso, how do you change, the narrative for yourselves, especially if you want to climb up the table?
You see, what is happening in Ghana game is the players are not scoring. They will be creating all the chances and they will not be scoring. I know Frimpong to be a very good coach, and definitely he will try to do the needful. He will tell the boys to do the things that will help the team to win. But when they get onto the field, you see these boys, they change and they will be doing other things that you, the coach, will not understand. But at the end of the day, the coach will be the one that will be apportioning the blame.
So those are the stats, first round stats, and you'll be stressing on the fact that there are 0 wins for Nations FC, just 1 draw, and as we speak, they are one of 3 teams yet to win away from home, and they've also picked up just 2 draws, so far in their 11 games. Now you look at the number of goals they've considered, 15, and you talk about Frimpong Manso winning the league with the BBD Gold Stars last season. He also always has his teams playing so well, especially defensively. What has changed for him?
You see, he wasn't the one who did the recruitment for this team.
Okay.
And when you want to see a coach who is doing well, it's about he preparing the team for the preseason and all those stuff. If he does that, he knows the nitty-gritty of the game, and he knows what he wants and what the players can do for him. But he went and met this team. So it will take time for him to change things. There are players that maybe he will even love to change their positions and other stuff. So that's why you are not getting what you know from Paul Manson or from the team that he's handling now. Because the recruitment was there, and he went there and took over the team, and he's just trying his best to do, and things are not going the way he thinks it's supposed to go. But we pray that Nations should remain in the league so that next season he can do his own thing and do what we all know him to.
You're a coach. You've been with Premier League clubs before. You understand the terrain, how it works. Now, we're just 10 games to the end of the season. If you are Frimpong Manson, is this one of the games that you put asterisk on and say, yeah, we are winning this one? We are coming up against a team that is relegation bound.
Normally, when teams are relegation bound, playing them is also another thing. So, Frimpong, if I were Frimpong, I'll only tell my boys to have that patience. They make sure they win this game so that it will be a moral booster for them in the next subsequent game that they will play at home.
All right, so we're still building up Friday kickoff here, Swedro Stadium. 11 Wonders, they are playing home this afternoon to Nations FC, and we are some few minutes away from kickoff. It promises to be an exciting game, the first of 9 games bound for match day 9. I'm still here with Andy and Nana Sinners and my guest. But let's talk about 11 Wonders as well. With all they've gone through again, does that take a lot from them? Mind you, during the January transfer window, they had to sell, 2 of their best players, one being Frank Awere to Swedro or Blacks. Now, if you're a player playing, you've spoken about the fact that you need to psych yourself up. But are you looking at joining the team, being with the team throughout, or you're just looking at, maybe there's no loyalty, maybe at the end of the season I'm looking at going away, especially when you know you're going down there?
You see, if you're a player, I know all that you are saying will come into their minds, but you have to psych yourself up and make sure that you play very well for other teams to see you, so that next season you can also have yourself somewhere like the other players that were in the team and they are now with different teams. So they needed to make sure they do the needful. They have to play their hearts out for other teams to see them. Aside that, they will go and play in Division 1, which is, we all call it wilderness.
How do you call it?
Wilderness.
The wilderness. That's Division. Okay, so Division 1 is the wilderness, says Andy Senderson. Now, let's take a look at the lineups for both teams, 11 Wonders, the home side. And this is how they also line up. You have J in post, the Champon, Mensa, Ameao, as well as in defense. Then it looks more like a 4-3-3 formation, but more of a diamond 4-3-3 formation there. And Ahmed playing up front, Isa also up front, as well as Samoa playing up front for them. There's a side that hasn't scored lots of goals so far this season. Do you think that there's the front line that gives them, what they need in attack today?
That is what they have, because they are not scoring, but they are the same players. They know they will play. And when things happen like this and there's no much competition, that's what happens. That's what happens. But they are the ones that have been playing, and they know they have to back up with their efforts and make sure this time around they will do something good.
Now let's take a look at the setup from Frimpong Manson, and this is the 11 he's going with. Osman Sanon in post for them. There's Boache, Simpson, Gripman, and Boateng there. And then in midfield you have Ifa, Enchi, Mashoud also playing at right midfield. There's Nzonli, who will be helping with the midfield duties. There's also Suhini playing as a number 10, and then also Ano, their top scorer, returns to the lineup. Interesting lineup.
Yeah, very interesting, because he's playing more or less like the 4-5-1, like the 4-5-1 system. He has one man at the top, because defensively he will try to protect his back. He wouldn't want anything to happen, and at the same time he will try to move up to make sure he can get some goals, because he has his two wingers who will be operating from the middle, and at the same time will be supporting the striker when the ball gets up front. So at the final third, he will make sure they get something good out of it.
But how do they get the best out of Emmanuel Ano? He's already on 7 goals for them. He's been their top scorer this season. He's been injured. He's back now. How do they get the best out of him?
When players go injured and they come back, when they are playing, you could see that at times you not find them the way they were before they went out of the game. But gradually, he being an experienced player, and he knows what he wants for himself, scoring 7 goals and wanted to add more goals. Definitely, he make sure he puts himself in the game, because he will think he's playing against a team that is not scoring, and at the same time a team that is sitting at the bottom half of the table who is not doing well. So he will make sure maybe he can get 1 or 2 goals to add up to his tally to get 9 goals today.
So still build up to the game here at the Swedro Stadium. It is 11 Wonders, the bottom place side, the team with the worst record in the Premier League this season. 9 points from 23 games. They are facing Nations FC. They also have problems of their own, but then today they'll be hoping that they could or they can put Wonders to the sword. And we've spoken about, the tactical variations, but let's talk a bit about 11 Wonders as well, and tactically how astute they can be when they want to be. They play good football, but sometimes you look at them and it looks like there's something really missing. From a coach's perspective, what do you need to add to this team to make them complete?
The team is playing very well, but when there's no motivation, this is what happens, because they are playing very well, and you could see that there's no motivation. If there's motivation, because they will play all the football, but at the end of the day, they will lose the game. So there's no motivation.
And
both intrinsic and extrinsic.
That's quite a problem.
Both intrinsic and extrinsic. There's no motivation, because you need to have the extrinsic and the intrinsic motivation, which is not there.
But talk to me a bit about the coach, Emmanuel Edu. He came in, his very first win was a birthday present. That's how he dubbed that one a birthday present, and they delivered. It was a good win for them. They beat Dreams FC. Later they beat Basaki Holy Stars. How would you rate his job so far with this team?
The coach is trying his best, because before him there have been 2 Ghana coaches before he came on board, and he also didn't recruit the players, as we are all saying, and he's trying. And when he came where the team was sitting, he has been able to win a game, but there were coaches there who weren't even able to win the game. So that is it.
Okay, so it's now time to take a breather again. We're still building up to our Friday kickoff game from the Swedru Stadium. 11 Wonders taking on Nations FC right after this break.
In the heart of Ghana, a nation rich with natural resources and vibrant culture.
Because 11 Wonders will try to do something for themselves, and Nations will also try to make sure they get a win here, because it's been a long time they had an away win. They have not been a good travelers, but this time around they will try to conjure some magic. But I'm surprised, their vehicle had problem on the way and they couldn't make it as it is. But that should not be the excuse. They have to deliver.
All right, so that's it from my guest, Andy Siderson. The players are ready, lined up in the tunnel, and we join the field. Our commentator is Benjamin William Graham.
And so here in Swedru, the air hangs take over the Swedru Sports Stadium. Just much of a coastal breeze nicking in from the central region and also nudging the corner flags like I want to say in the tactics. The sun here isn't blazing, it's hovering. Warm, humid, slightly mischievous. The kind of afternoon where legs can grow heavy in the 70th minute. A very catastrophic slump in the Premier League campaign there for 11 Wonders, but they just want to put all that behind them. A little bit of a smile there from the players in the tunnel, where they're looking forward to changing the narrative. Maybe they want to see how the journey so far in the Premier League has been. Hasn't really been a topsy-turvy turn for 11 Wonders, but maybe this afternoon, maybe, just maybe, they might want to find something to tell or a story that might also want to change how they have fared so far in the Ghana Premier League. Their return has seen a very much a catastrophic decline in the Premier League. They've gone 5 games not scoring just a single goal in the Premier League this season. It's been a very difficult campaign there for 11 Wonders. They sit bottom of the table with just 9 points from 23 matches, having just recorded just about 18 defeats. Just 2 wins and 3 draws. But they come up here against Nations FC, who themselves are not sitting pretty good there on the Premier League log. But all that might have to change this afternoon. 2 coaches to look into change lots of the players and how they intend to work themselves this afternoon here at the Srejo Stadium. The reason 11 Wonders are here in Srejo to play the Premier League match 24. Couldn't secure the Lagos Stadium because there's going to be certainly an event going on there. So Srejo becomes the next venue for 11 Wonders to see if they can change the narrative in terms of their football there. But indeed, yet again suffered a setback in their fight for survival after 2-0 defeat to Karela United in Temal over the weekend. 11 Wonders losing 5 consecutive league matches without scoring a single goal. That is not a story for 11 Wonders and what they intend to tell the fans who definitely are not here in their numbers to watch the game there. But match officials are simply looking forward to giving us an entertaining afternoon here. Nations FC themselves also want to give us something spectacular this afternoon. So all is set now for match day 24, 11 Wonders and Nations FC. And this is Ghana Premier League. This is where the action starts. And this is a Friday action here in Srejo.
It is a big game, especially for Nations and also for Wonders. You know, it looks like they are relegation bound. Mathematically, yeah, it's possible for them to escape it. But then you look at how they can be able to grind results. Now, motivation is quite low. The confidence is a bit low. But for Nations, they've not won away from home. And I spoke to the coach and he believes that if there's a way, a time, a perfect time for them to break that jinx, it is today here in this game.
We'll talk about the home side there. 11 Wonders themselves have got 12 matches on their own turf. Have only managed only 2 wins and draw, with still suffering from 9 defeats in the Premier League. Match officials this afternoon: Lord Nekte, the centre referee. We assisted in line 1 there by Tijani Mohammed, in lines 2 by Suleiman Adin. For the official is going to be Juliet Apia, match commissioner being Kwesi Alexander. But 11 Wonders really looking forward into the team that did find themselves a defeat against Karela, but still maintain some exciting players. Hakim Miller is back in the setup here. Ahmed Nisa is also here. And they're looking forward to see how they go with their 4-2-3-1 formation in terms of how they also want to have Desmond Champong and also that. But in terms of the midfield play, having Joseph Ifa sitting just right in front of the back four clearly means that they really want to go in and have to score a lot of goals there.
Yeah, most definitely. It's a 4-3-3 flat for them. You know, that midfield three of Nzoli, Suhini, and then also Ifa. Ifa could be the more advanced of the 3 in midfield, but I think it's Arnaud who will also be looking up to 7 goals this season, and he will be also be hoping to add up to his tally against the team that has conceded the most this season.
Now the happy person in the Premier League, at least he is the coach of 11 Wonders at the moment, knowing that you're just sitting at the bottom, really not made any impact in terms of the performance of the players and how the management of the club really have gone so far. There were expectations that they're coming back in the Premier League, things would change. 11 Wonders going the wine and deep blue outfit there with all white and orange. It's Nations FC. Interesting this development there for 11 Wonders in terms of statistically. They have to just score as many as 8 goals and have conceded 21, the highest number of home goals conceded in the Premier League this season. With confidence fragile and time running out, there's a crucial opportunity to see if they can halt and probably reignite some performance there from them, and that might be the story there for 11 Wonders. The players sometimes they walk into the Premier League or they match day action very much late, though. I don't understand really about performance is really here.
Yeah, he is such a calm man, such a calm figure. You know, quite a lot of setbacks prior to the game, but you know, as calm and as experienced as he is, I believe he'll be putting that behind him. And I could just wonder what the pep talk, you know, is, what they'll be looking at, or he would be saying to them even before the start of this game.
Again, Nations FC really having to work into this game and seeing how best they might want to change the narrative there. So it all starting here at the Srejo Stadium as Nations FC in the white and orange trying to get the action going. And for 11 Wonders, they play some of the spectacular football in Ghana Premier League, but haven't really been so consistent in terms of the results that you're looking for. Just a player down there trying to pick up a halting play for 11 Wonders, and so they do have one of the top players down with Issa. Fairly halting play at the moment there, just about less than 30 seconds of the game starting. Nations FC just 28 points from 23 matches. They've scored 19 goals and have conceded 22 so far. One of the major concerns there for Nations FC is the away performance. Not really the best there. And Chisapong, Brandon, and a lot of work being done by the two sides trying to move in quickly here. And Chisapong in the state of affairs, but the effort just going wide. A little bit of a notch there. And 11 Wonders right full back. The captain for the side there, Farouk Ameyao.
Yeah, best possible way to start a game, on the front foot now. It was a good ball, but I think that was a good interception as well by Ameyao Farouk, playing at the right back position for Wonders. And he was tripped, right behind him. That was Chisapong, Brandon trips him.
Trying to make sure that they have something going there, Farouk. Just releasing the ball straight down to Asamoah. Again, not the best of runs there from Wonders. Trying to pick up Angel Ewula. So playing the spot there. A little midfield battle going in there between Ahmed Issa and Joseph Ifa as well. Now they quickly pick possession there for Nations, driving in here and looking for space and trying to make sure that at least they can get something. Sohini Suleimana dragging the ball back again. Just keeping it neat and simple. The ball into the box now, and it's been cleared by Farouk. Pressure now being mounted there on 11 Wonders. Mark Williams Boateng just not able to contain the possession and giving it away. And just make sure that Festus Nkrumah was able to get things done.
Yeah, the first two entries from Nations FC, have actually ended in fouls, attacking fouls,
Well, again, it's not going to be an opportunity, but it has to be collected beautifully by Hadi Ajay. And that shows the energy there they have in coming into this game. Nations FC not really giving anything away in the competition, though, but you talked about the performance away from home, and hasn't really been the best. Was Zach Simpson intercepting play here. Chase for the ball there, expecting to see the runs there from Emmanuel Arnaud for taking off his feet. And Jay coming in. Nations FC really among 6 teams yet to register an away victory this season, but it's just 2 draws and suffering from 9 defeats on the road. A concern there for Frimpong Manso is just really brought into the team to stabilize the ship there. Bottom half of the Premier League is where they sit, Nations FC. Trying to contain the pressure and keeping the ball neat and simple and trying to drag it forward here. And lovely they do so. And now looking for the round there of Arnaud, not able to pick him up, but Brandon here. Session play down to teammates Kwame Boachi and Brandon trying to advertise a long cross into the ball, but it goes on with the left foot. Beautiful play there for Brandon and squares the ball here. So it's going to be Arnaud's effort and blocked this time. He might have to hit it low. And Frederick Zole trying to hit it from a long range there. Another ball into the box there. And that is a beautiful, beautiful goal. And certainly you have the first goal being scored just under 5 minutes in the Premier League. And Nations FC, who themselves haven't really been able to score goals away from home, now they've done so by Joseph Ifa. What a clinical header from him.
Yeah, it's been coming. They've been playing on the front foot. You have Wonders playing on the back foot. They've been defending so deep. They were allowing them so much time on the ball, so much space to exploit. But that was some good job done by Mashoud over there. That's well, 1v1, beats his marker, sets up the far. And that was a thumping header. It's all about Mashoud at this point. That's so well. And you would say that's some lazy, lazy, sluggish defending over there by Nations 11 Wonders. No one marking him. Just look at that. You have defenders in the box, but no one picking him out. And he does so well. Just to direct that ball with his head. Just past the goalkeeper. That is a lovely finish.
Got to get the first goal there for Nations FC. Joseph Ifa sitting right in front of the back four And now he glancingly finds his way to get the goal there. Just 4 minutes, and the first goal already has been scored here in straight draw for Nations FC, the away side. That clearly will be a huge win there for them. One of the drawing in match day 23 at home. A victory here certainly will signal a bit of a relief there for Frimpong Manso.
Well, certainly for them, you know, just 2 points picked up in away games, 11 away games. It's not really been good for them. You're looking at how good they were last season on the road. This season, it's been a stark contrast of whatever we saw from them last season. You'd think that's just the best possible way to start any away game at all.
And a pull through here, but again, unable to deal with it. The centre backs coming in to clear the lines, likes of Hamza Musa and Hakim Miller. They've just been there. Farouk in his role there as the full-back, and Harvard is going to champion as the full-back here in this afternoon's game. An interesting win there for Nations FC. 9 defeats away from home. Certainly not the best of the records there they want to have. And also ranked as the 3rd weakest away side in the league.
Yeah, it's been a problem. That's been their biggest predicament this season. You know, not managing to get wins away from home. Even scoring has been a problem for them, you know, this season in away games. And you're looking at this game and it's sort of, you know, motivation and enthusiasm, the energy they are playing with already inside 7 minutes, and it tells you that there's a time they want to break that change of the season. They know the league is far beyond reach, but then they know they need to pick up valuable points if they want to place respectably on the table.
Trying to see exactly what the two teams will be coming into the game with. But it's Nations FC who definitely have shown their prowess by getting the first goal and going forward. 11 Wonders maybe want to change the narrative there. Desmond Champon again losing possession, had to be picked up by Mohamed Issa. And now possession here to MJ Arila. So the players are looking to change a lot of things. Ahmed Issa here. And again, expecting the full-back to just race down there. But again, he switches flatly, not able to move, and the coach just not happy about the performance. And expecting a lot from the two teams, maybe.
Yeah, especially in a home game. And they are losing too many second balls now already. They are not able to string the passes together. And that's where the frustration is emanating from for Emmanuel Edu, who's watching from the dugout. He believes they can do better at this point. Just giving away too many passes.
Ahmed is up. One of the beautiful things about the 11 Wonders side is that they know how to weave pretty patterns and keep possession. But again, they attempt to score some goals there. Sometimes do not work perfectly. They're being able to contain and possess the ball neat and simple. But again, to the final third is much of the problem there. First does, yeah. Find space, bringing the ball deep into the half there. Again, they have to lose possession. Somewhat giving away to Razak Simpson. And now it's Brandon. And there comes Nations FC. He's trying to make sure that they have something going beautifully there for them. And also having the goalkeeper Rabin Usman Sanon also being part of the game here. But it's still the same narrative there for Nations FC. They may want to hold on to the win there, but too early to say so. Still managing to keep the performance and managing to go with the flow of the game. Not trying to register a goal here in the match there, but it's going to be a corner kick advantage there to Nations FC.
Yeah, good sprint by Arno. Had to sprint about 30-35 yards. Oh, just 1v1 with a Champon with a Ridley time tackle there to win Nations that corner.
And 6 matches there, yet to pick up a win there. 11 Wonders, and this is going to be their 13th goal they've conceded. And 6 games played. I'll tell you, the last 5 matches they conceded 12, and now they have conceded yet another goal here, so making it 13. And the Premier League is one of the weakest side in the scheme of things and how they want to change a lot of things there, but Expect to see some bit of runs there coming through from Nations FC. Local Gripman has also been part of the running here from Nations.
It's interesting to see the centre-back period, that centre-back move all the way forward into that attacking space. And it speaks about the spaces 11 Wonders are leaving behind. Talk about the fact that you have a centre-back in an attacking area, nearly getting to the end of that ball.
Lovely pass now to Desmond Champong here, trying to advertise across into the box now. And again, it's 11 Wonders not giving up. They still want to come in and provide some relief and reignite some bit of a passion in terms of how they may want to respond to the goal conceded there by coming in with this header. The lovely jump there from Festus Nkrumah.
That was a looping header from Festus Nkrumah, drifting a bit, infield. He was drifting a bit central from that left-hand side. He's playing as a left winger today, with that pace and trickery. You'd always count on him to go past his markers with ease. But at that point, there's a space that was created at the left-hand side, allowing him to drift, and get his head to that header.
Mohamed Issa here for Wonders. Good play. Nkrumah dropping it down to Desmond Champong. Another cross into the box. The goalkeeper is already pitting, but a little bit of touch there from Sanon. And Farouk! And again, hits the lower parts of the centre-back, and referee just allowed play to continue. Brandon here into Sapong. Clears. And Arnaud in trouble there, but Wonders back in keeping possession. They're pretty much good at it, aren't they?
And they're enjoying their best spell of possession now. The last 2 minutes, it's been all Wonders.
The Champo once again, release, and Goodman just able to get the ball away from him. Now Wonders can actually come back in the game if they do so.
Yeah, that was an earlier chance again. It was a lovely whip into the box. About the goalkeeper at full stretch, Robin Sanon does well. Just tip that one away from danger. It's now ball committing men forward. They're stringing the passes so well now, 11 Wonders. They just have to go that extra mile, committing 1 or 2 more players up front.
Ula in jail. Now finding space down to Mohamed Issa. Again, just not able to find his target man. The Nations were clear. Zoli really also sitting right in front of the back four there for Nations FC. Trying to also find something here in the game. And Emmanuel Arnaud has been caught offside as well.
He's a low striker for them today, Emmanuel Arnaud. Quite a lethal striker there. Very, very clinical as well.
On the left-hand side, you've really seen a lot of work there from Desmond. Again, not one of the best passes there you expect there from Kofi Asamoah.
And the frustration on his face tells it. Not what he was expecting, not the sort of outcome he expected after whipping that ball in. But it's been promising from them. It's been promising from Wonders in the last 5 minutes or so. The way they string the passes together, picking up, a free man each and every time the other player on the ball.
A quarter of an hour already played in the game here, and still is Nations FC leading 11 Wonders by a goal to nil. Scored beautifully there by Joseph Efa in the 4th minute. Wonders have actually accumulated 7 points at home after 12 matches played, scoring 8, conceding 21 at home. Total of 40 goals conceded in the Premier League. 11 Wonders now mixing with Joseph Efa's goal makes it 41 goals conceded.
You don't survive the Premier League with those numbers. It looks awful numbers for any team that just gained promotion back into the top flight. You just need to keep your defense tight. You need to frustrate teams, and it's one thing they failed to do all season.
Now, Kwame Boachi here for Nations. He's able to keep the ball beautifully neat and Looking to have Brandon going in there, but not able to do so. Brandon. Here comes Angele Wula. Press the play down to the left-hand side, always looking to find around there of Desmond. But this time being picked up beautifully. Kofia Samoa releasing Mohamed Issa. The ball picked away from him. Now they have the way of knitting the ball just in front of the position half. But again, the final pass, the killer pass, is what is denying 11 Wonders an opportunity to score a goal here.
Yeah, this time Samoa does well, drops deeper. You know, that's so well to link up play, but it was Issa with that poor first touch that let him down. There was no way he should have given that ball away. There was space in front of him to attack, but you know, that poor touch just gave that ball away cheaply.
Here comes Nkrumah. Beautiful round there has been pulled down. The referee says it's a legal tackle. So it's going to be Suleimana here, Sohini, for Nations. Trying to dictate and control the game there for the visitors. Ball sent into the far side once again. Nation now trying to control the game. Nations FC themselves 12th on the Premier League table, 28 points. Again, you have Arnaud here in the box, looking to find space, and if once again in there waiting for a pass. And here comes Suleimana Sohini. Kwambuachi. Entry Sapong has been tripped from behind once again. The referee just allows play to continue. And he calls that a legal tackle there, according to referee Lord Nete. I was looking to release left full back, Kwambuachi.
That was a good call, clear foul there. A bit of the notch on the back of Boache. Just look at that from Angela Wula. Oh, he's had so much freedom now. No Kwambuache from the left-hand side of the nation's defense. Not really seen him in action, but yeah, we've not also seen any threat at all from Tete on the right-hand side of the Wonders attack, allowing the nation's left back to have some freedom as well.
Well, Sano really coming in. Simpson. Again, he has to use experience to get the ball away from his attacking player. Wula was coming in to put some of the pressing for the ball. And Kwambuachi here for Nations. In the last 5 matches, Nations have scored 5 goals. Now they've scored here, so making it 6. And their 6th game in the Premier League. There's a foul there. Well, they've been trying to really work hard in the league there, Nations FC. But they started pretty well, to recall some of the matches played. And the upset, they really caused some of the top teams in the Premier League, Nations FC. Here comes Zach Simpson. Now possession down to Nzole, spreading play down the right-hand side. And always looking for the run over Mark Williams Boateng.
He's quite a fighter. Hard-working Mark Williams, right-hand side of the attack, and he's offering some sort of support for Mashoud, who's playing as a winger today. We've not really seen much of him though, but he's been decent defensively.
Well, Angie Sapong here on the set piece there for Nations FC. To the near post, being attacked. And Festus Nkrumah, which was doing his defensive duties. He's expecting the likes of Zach Simpson just moving away from his defensive line to attacking area. Zach. And now Nations. Well, I've seen plenty of the ball just right in front of 11 Wonders, and still trying to push more. Arnaud switching play down to the left-hand side, trying to go around his man. He does so beautifully. Emmanuel Arnaud! And his effort goes wide.
Yeah, that was a good hit. Like the marksman, Emmanuel Arnaud, drifting to the left-hand side, but then beats his marker with ease. And from a distance, he sizes the post. He just believes there was enough space for him. No one closing him down at this point. Does well, and that's what you expect your attackers to do in games like this, to build your confidence going forward. We've seen him those 1v1 situations already, but this time he decides to go for the hit, which he does, and misses the post by some inches. Yeah, that was the foul over there, persistent fouling. And it was Mashoud who kept on tailing him at this point. Yeah, the extended arm there on Asamoah.
Again, doing so, very lucky. He's been able to find himself on the very good place. Hamza Musa. The coach really would say, don't do that again. Next time, you might not be lucky. You were this time. The only player at the back there to save the situation, Mohamed Issa here for 11 Wonders. Pretty much busy this afternoon. And just giving the ball away, but they wanted to pick up beautifully. And now want to try from afar, Desmond Tete. Oh, what a save there from Rabin Osman Sanon. But what a hit there from Desmond Tete.
A spectacular hit from a dead stand, Desmond Tete. Just does well to skip past his marker. And again, you have to close him down, but you could see Razak Simpson trying to narrow the angle there. But Tete wouldn't want to push that one forward anymore. He does well at this point. Just look at that. And no one making a run, and he just had to hit that one. Had limited options, and run on Osman with a fine save there.
Good hit there from Desmond Tete. Good save from Sanon. Ball to near post. And Wonders. Marwan fancy another hit there. Blocked. Well, came off the body of Suleiman Soini. Sanon with a bit of a punch. And again, it's been scrambled away. And it's going to be 2v1 situation there. Arnaud, Scott Mohamed Issa to beat. Spread play and wait for some bit of a pass there for Angela Mashoud, who sends in a cross into the box, and he has been attacked by Hakim Miller. The nation's really coming in. Hakim Miller really getting the ball down again. Another hit there for long range. Both teams beginning to size each other up. Halfway through the first half already. As Nations FC, who certainly are looking to get the 3 points maybe. They lead by a goal to nil.
He wanted to play fearlessly. That's what they're doing now. Manuel Edu not quite content with his team performance so far. They've done everything right, with the exception of conceding a goal and not scoring one in this game. And the instructions will continue. He looks furious because they're allowing them, too much space, and they are not winning the 50-50 balls, which is a problem for them. But up front, we just saw that spectacular hit by Tete. Then forcing that good save of Sanon Osman. It's not really been bad from them. Wonders. Looking at where they lie on the league log, the points accumulated so far this season, just 9 from 23. That was that earlier goal. Stars last season, just 6 points, and that was even after they were docked 3 points. You know, they were docked 3 points for failing to handle that game against Basakoli Stars. And you compare, you just oppose this season's performances by Nations FC to that of last season, and you know, in every department you'd say that they've retrogressed, and which hasn't really been good for the such a good team. They've got some quality in there as well.
Again, somewhat of a hit there coming through from Nations FC, not giving up. They want to score more goals. So it's going to be one of the most difficult moments there in the Premier League. Something that you expect to see the two teams coming up. A spectacular performance. And again, you do see some of the moments there for the side and how they've been able to work themselves out. It's always difficult when they intend to score most of the goals. And the two teams want to get themselves up there in the Premier League. No wonders have only kept 3 clean sheets against Holy Stars and Karela as well. They have also played their part and worked hard in the Premier League, but this is where the difficult work there becomes. And again, Living Wonders coming in. We're just in 2.5 hour mark, and Hakim Miller here looking for space out there and able to do so. Hakim Miller just going straight to the body of the player. And again, just escape there. Zoli was the man who just got his way.
He had space to attack. He had space. He had enough time, Miller, to send that ball forward. You had a couple of attackers making the run down the left-hand side. And, you know, you question the decision-making at this point where you could release an easy ball, just help with the build-up.
Sapong on him. Just half an hour gone here at the Stradio Stadium. Just making sure that they have almost everything working out perfectly for them. And here comes Zach Simpson, advertising the long ball into the left-hand side again, trying to pick up Kwame Boachi, unable to do so. Salon really, apart from the long-range shots he saved there from Tete, pretty much been on holidays, hasn't he?
Probably has. You know, the supplies have been cut, and he's not really getting much of the balls now. We saw that earlier strike from him, and that one, you know, saw him drift a bit, you know, central to hit that one. We've not seen him much in action since, especially being policed by Kwame Boachi at the left-hand side of the nation's attack. Maybe you would want to swap positions or even drift a bit central, you know, to enjoy some of the possession.
Another set piece opportunity there for the visitor. And again, it's been plenty of the ball possession there for Nations FC and 40 for 11 Wonders. Surprised there, but for the ball Oh, sent into the far post once again. Hardy trying to come back. Indecision from Hardy. Was initially looking to come back and see if he can collect the ball there, but changed his mind and stayed put in the goal post. Farouk. And just gives the ball away to Simpson. Zoli. And Suleimana has been pushed down.
I think that was a push, a clear push there. No, Wonders are not pushing hard. They are pressing for the ball now, allowing Nations FC to take the game to them now. It's coming far too easy. Suedu playing in central midfield, but helping with the attacking duties, as and when he finds himself in those attacking areas as well.
Here they come again, Nations FC with another try from long range. Has been picked up by Hardy. Oh, the efforts really coming in thick and fast there from Nations FC.
And a bad hit, Brandon Enchi. Now switching to the right-hand side now. He had to cut onto his left foot. Just struck that one. A bit of ricochet there, taking off the par. Before Jay could handle that. Again, another good intent from them. And it's even getting more difficult now.
I'm still seeing glimpses of 11 Wonders coming into the game.
And the look on the face of Emmanuel Edu tells you he's not really happy, with a couple of decisions. To some extent, the interpretation of that tactical display from his side.
Well, again, Sanon coming out there, and Tete. And another best of placement there from the man who's been trying to find a goal here for 11 Wonders.
He's been quiet, but you need to be hitting the back of the net. Yeah, the angle was a bit against him, but Sanon does well here, caught him too well. Just didn't really know his positioning. At some point, you could see I'd wanted to go, grab that one with his hands, but it was a good move there somewhat through the middle. And Sanon doing so well to hit that one, not cleared fully. No tight angle there, and Tete trying to hit that one from an acute angle.
Here comes Sanon. Also trying his luck from a long range. But both teams just fluffing opportunities, very much goal scoring opportunities for them.
Yeah, it tells you that goals in this game. It tells you that we could witness, an avalanche of goals. It could be a goal galore here, but, it's all about the ability to finish these chances. Some glaring, some half chances. Earlier on, we saw Benjamin Tete fluff one, and Emmanuel Ano just shooting way over, the post. Of 11 Wonders, I think they've done well keeping their shape, the shape since conceding a goal that you'd be thinking is avoidable, but you still have that holding midfield of Ahmed Issa and Mohamed Issa doing so well now together with the Wula Angel, who's also been missing for some time, but it's not been really good for them attacking wise, but I think they've really kept their shape, even though they've allowed spaces, they've allowed Nations FC some chances as well. For a team with just 9 points after 23 games, you sometimes give them credit for how they carry themselves and how they set up in games like this. Nations FC, they just have to, just go for the simple options now, I think. No, they have the quality now. If you come up against a side like 11 Wonders, that you should have enough quality and confidence, to string the passes. You have to, they've kept, a chunk of the possession, but now they have to make some good decisions in the third half as well.
But again, they're just trying to find a space here. But the problem here, really, for 11 Wonders is the final pass there to the attacking players to get the goals there. Tete's really seen some plenty and very good positions there to score a goal there. He's got long range shot saved. He's got just a little point just at the edge of the box there to see if he can, dink over the goalkeeper and just went wide.
Yeah, despite being limited to just 40% of the possession, they've created some decent chances.
And now on the charge here, 11 Wonders now looking for the ball there in the box, waiting patiently. It's going to be an opportunity here, but it's been taken away from there. The second goal might be coming here. And they're still struggling to get something. Kwambuachi with a little back flick there. Another shot coming in. It's been blocked by Mohamed Issa. Possession here from Kwambuachi, and again, they have a set-piece advantage.
And just what we're talking about, decision-making up front. It was a lovely cutback. Again, Suhini not being able to just latch onto that. Just lost his foot in there, but again, a good ball in by Kwame Boache from the left-hand side. And it tells you how, he's had so much freedom to operate on the left-hand side, joining the attack. And, he's really stepped up his game this afternoon, the left back.
5 minutes to go here in the first half. 11 Wonders have now scored 4 goals against Nations and considered 5 in the last 2 outings or in all competitions. Another set-piece advantage, but sent to the far post once again. It's going to be attacked there by Samsing, and Ano with that bullet strike goes wide again. And he's desperate to get a goal there, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Scored a hat-trick in the reverse fixture in that 3-2 win at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, and he's eager to get his name on the score sheet. Oh, that was a push over there, but nothing given there. It wasn't Mashoud, but that non-drop volley there by Manuel Ano. Lacking a bit of accuracy. He knows if there's one player that knows how to score against that side, it's certainly Manuel Ano.
Again, it's a confirmation of the scoreline here. 11 Wonders nil, Nations 1. Simpson, again, doing his defensive duties beautifully there. Tete. Mohamed Issa. Hakim Miller. Ismail Champong. There's a good turn there by Nkrumah. Here comes Arila. Back to Hakim Miller. Fine space in Hamza Musa as well. And Nations still shooting the balls and trying to find a instinctive pass that may want to change everything there against Nations FC. Here comes an opportunity to hit the ball really amongst almost everybody and turn away beautifully at Tete. The offside flag already up here. That was a very, very poor decision there from Tete.
He should be doing better. Benjamin Tete at that point had spaces. He had enough space, but just decided to play that one back onto the part of a Samoa who was in an offside position there. They should have just gone for the other option, perhaps maybe moving the ball a bit more forward. And it's been a problem as well for Wonders. You know what to do at what time. Saw him Teta hit that long strike, but at that point you'd be thinking that a player of his caliber should be executing that with some sort of ease.
Musa. They're trying to get things done right. And the 11 Wonders again wandering their way into again an equalizing goal. And as Angela Wheeler also working hard here. Just about approaching the end of the first half. And here comes Tete. Turns beautifully. Spreading play down to the left-hand side once again. Musa just goes in, bit into it. And that's going to be a huge counter-attack here. There's a good play. Beautiful down and cross comes in. There's a lovely opportunity now for the second. It is Arnaud. And again, blasted wire ball was actually beautifully notched down by Joseph Ifafano. And just not the best of connection there for Arnaud, but a lovely piece of work there from Abdullah Mashoud. And have volley advantage there for Nations FC, and that opportunity has been fluffed there. And again, they're still probing and looking to ask a lot of questions there and see if they can score more. Here comes Arnaud. It is Brandon. Entry Sapong. Trying to cut it back beautifully and wants to go on the left. But it's got to spread play. Arnaud is a target man here. And another strike comes out and goes wide. A confirmation of 2 minutes of added time. Again, a bit of a concern there for Nations FC as they have a player probably need to be attended to. Here comes Brandon and Chisapong. Yeah, this is where I felt that he might have been fouled. But again, there was no touch or no contact on him at all. Probably be a little bit of a hamstring situation. Angela Wula. Expecting to have Arnaud coming in here. It's got Brandon and Efa in the box waiting. Mashoud leaves the ball down, and it's going to be an opportunity now for Nations wriggling away into the box. Now it's going to be a corner kick. Well, so just approaching the end of the first 45 minutes of the game here at the 24th, the Premier League. Wonders and Nations FC ball sent in again. Nobody there to attack the ball there, and the referee really asking the players to understand that it's the end of the first half. But so far, there's visitors who really have registered the first goal through the beautiful header there by Joseph Ifa. And that's the only thing separating the two sides. 11 Wonders have kept some possession there, but Nations FC with this man Joseph Ifa giving them the first goal, and be looking back and perhaps going down his tunnel in the dressing room to ask a lot of questions and maybe have some bit of answers to the lapses they probably may have created, allowing 11 Wonders to get some chances and to advertise opportunities for goals there. In Spain, the Ghana Premier League here at the Stradio Stadium. Wonders nil, Nations FC 1 at half time.
Halftime in our Friday kickoff game here at the Swedro Stadium. It's away side, Nations FC. They are leading the home side 11 Wonders by a lone goal. Goal scored by Ifa in the 4th minute to give Nations FC that lead heading into recess. They're only 45 minutes away from claiming their very first away win of the season. I've been joined here at pitch side by the assistant coach, Abuaje Da Costa, the assistant of Nations FC. Coach, how did some of the first 45?
It's very difficult for us. So we had a breakdown when we were coming and no warm-up. Imagine, it's very, very difficult. So we thank God we have had the first goal.
But tactically, what would you say about the team and the setup this afternoon? How have they been able to interpret that tactical, setup, and how have they displayed it on the pitch for you?
Because of lack of warm-up, our tactical play is not incepted. It's very bad. Yeah, we were here to press and then take the ball to them. And right now they are taking the ball to us, which we don't like it. So we're going into the second half and we're going to. Now they are a bit warm up, so we advise them to push a little bit harder. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's Abuaje Da Costa, the assistant head coach of Nations FC. They are headed into the halftime break with a 1-0 lead. They're scoring and as early as the 4th minute. It's still the Friday kickoff. We're live on TV3 as well as on Unia TV. We head for a commercial break. When we are back, it would be the halftime analysis. name is Josal Kukwe. I'm still here at Pitside with Nana. Nana, you sum up the first 45. Have you been impressed with the performances of both teams?
I think what I saw in the first half was nations were rather playing as if they were even here, because 11 Wonders started the game as if there was nothing at stake, like we said earlier, and by the time they would say, Jack, where are you? They have conceded. And after conceding, they want to play. But they did as many as 10-40 passes that were all not going. And like seriously, my expectation from Nations 2 has not been what I'm looking up to.
But you talk about conceding in the 4th minute. Does that unsettle their waiting? Because we saw how they tried to go in, take the game to Nations FC and search for the equalizer. But how does that affect a team, consider as early as the 4th minute?
It's a game that you have in mind that you have to win, a must-win game. Then you concede in the 4th minute. A team that weren't even able to come and warm up. They couldn't warm up. But when you are playing them, then you sat for them to score as early as 4th minute. Then definitely you will be found wanting. That's why I said when they said, Jack, where are you? They were found wanting.
But let's talk about the goal that was scored. It was a decent goal, and you think that was an avoidable goal. Looking at it from the 11 Wonders perspective, you think that was avoidable?
They were caught ball watching because the ball came through the middle, and the ball came through the middle, and they drop it, to the flanks. The striker and the other player they were all doing the running, so the ball just came, and he nodded it home.
Sluggish defender. You're thinking 1v1 situation at the far end. That defender should be doing better.
That's it. Because when the ball went to the flanks, the one who went in for the tackle, he should have, destroyed the ball from even doing the crossing, but he couldn't. And when he took the ball away from him, he was caught ball watching. Look at him. You just look at him.
Yeah.
Look, he didn't make any attempt. He's playing as if there was nothing at stake. Like the Olympics say, I will do it.
But you talk about attitude. You talk about attitude and character. Yeah, 9 points from 23 games. Yeah, you're relegation. You're relegation bound, and you feel you're going. Is that what is actually setting in with Wonders? They feel like, see, there's nothing to lose at this point. What's the motivation?
There's something to lose because you have your career. At the end of the day, you are a footballer and you'll be tagged, because I remember there has been time in Ghana here they were saying, player like team friendly via at a relegation. So you don't have to be a player like that. So what you need to do is you have to put yourself, because this tackle that this guy went into it, he could have gone in better and take the ball away from the young man. But he didn't. When they took him out, he was just standing, he was caught ball watching, and which wasn't the best.
Now let's talk about the chances from Wonders. Right after conceding, we saw them, with a couple of chances over there. This one from Farouk being blocked. Have you been pleased with the character after going there, especially for a team that's languishing at the bottom of the league?
Yes, they wanted to do something. That's what I was saying, that when they started the game, they were caught ball watching. But at the end of the day, they started doing something, because you could see the player in the 50 shirt, he had a chance.
Yeah,
Tete. It was a very good drive, and the goalkeeper was able to see. If he had gone forward one before he took that shot, that could have been, a different story to tell.
11 Nations FC, they've not won any game away from home. Last season, they were the best away performers in the league. This season, only 2 draws, 2 points in away games. Now they are 45 minutes from winning their very first away game this season. What should Frimpong Manso be doing at this point with 45 minutes to go?
Frimpong knows the game, and once he has been able to score, it's been a long time that they won an away game. So once he has scored, definitely he will make sure he put the blocks in. He won't allow you to come and score. So he will make sure he defend very well and see to it that maybe if he can have another goal, because Arno has been getting some chances that he could have even buried the ball, but he's also just blasting the ball.
Let's see what the numbers say in terms of statistics in this game at Nations FC. Yes, the most important statistic being the goal. They have won 11 Wonders have none, but you can see the shot, 7 for Nations FC, just 1 for the home side. 11 Wonders. Shot on target, you have 1 for Wonders. There's 3 for Nations FC. And you look at the possession, 60 to 40 in favor of Nations. The fouls, Nations 12, you have Wonders 9. No yellow cards, no red cards so far. And these are the numbers, the statistics. You just look at it and you feel like, yeah, this is total dominance by Nations.
It's total dominance because Nations are playing all the football. It's just that 11 Wonders will get the ball and they will try to go forward. But that's what I'm saying. They have squandered so many chances up front, so many chances. Because they go out there, they get the ball and they throw the ball away. Because that's why they had only 1 shot on target. They don't have any. And in the middle too, they get the ball, they lose it. They get the ball, they lose it. Because the balls that are supposed to go to the middle so that it will go to the laterals, for the laterals to do a cross. Nations has done about 3 or 5 crosses. But 11 Wonders has done only 2 crosses.
Yeah. But what are you looking at doing now, Frimpong Manson? You've been caught here where you have a 1-goal lead to defend. Are you defending or you're looking at, see, this is the worst side. They've considered 41 goals in the league. Let's try and attack them and get more goals.
No, he will attack and at the same time defend as well. Because when you are going to somebody's house to steal, you don't open your door ajar for the other person also to come in. So definitely he will make sure he defend well and make sure maybe he catch them on the break like he did and score another goal.
But in the opposite dugout, we've seen Emmanuel Edu, a bit of tantrums, displeasure, disappointment. What is going on in his head at this point if you're a coach where, it's so frustrating, you feel they are not executing the plan to perfection?
Normally that is what happens because, like I told you in Ghana, some of the players are playing as if there was nothing at stake. You see, so that has been the norm. That's why the coach is so frustrated that he don't know, because at times he shouts instruction to a player. He doesn't care because this goal that they considered, it's avoidable. My brother, it's avoidable.
What should we expect in the second half? Tactically, would there be any switches? 4-3-3 from both sides. We've seen how dominant Nations FC have been, despite not really warming up, into the game. The assistant head coach says they used the first half as a warm-up session, and fortunately for them, they're in the lead now. What did they need to do as far as tactics is concerned?
Definitely. What I'm thinking is we pray they wouldn't worn out. Because, it might happen that the first half, the energy that they used in playing because of the problems that they had on the way, if it didn't eat up on them, then the second half they can play well. But if they are not lucky to, then it can change.
Thank you very much, Andy Nana. Said it's still the match day 24 Friday kickoff here at the Swedro Stadium. Heading into halftime, it was Nations FC, their away team, leading the home team 11 Wonders by a lone goal. We join the feed for second half action.
Well, again, both teams have come onto the pitch ready for the second half of the game. 11 Wonders down by goal to nil against Nations FC. Really, they have to come back very strong in the game. One of the major setbacks there for the home side is their record so far in the Premier League and what they have failed to do so far. Expectation that they'll be able to come out and do something. Nations FC really calm, composed, and they work like a team that believes something big is brewing this season. And again, he's still looking for 11 Wonders. I tell you what, the cloud cover drifts slightly, merciful, gentle, the tempo lifts. Again, looking to see exactly how things will be, sharp, precise, and 11 Wonders getting us underway here in the second half. Both teams remain unchanged. And Nations FC would quickly put possession here with Suleimana charging here to win the ball there for Nations FC. Here comes Nzoli, Frederick, and Brandon entry Sapong. Ball intercepted and Teta picks it up for 11 Wonders. And again, lovely interception beautifully by Raymond Oko-Gripman. And back with possession there. And that's how they started the first half there, Nations FC, and managed to get the first goal as early on as in the 4th minute. So they want to really pull their legs on the accelerator and continue to put the pressure and press pretty much deeper and see if they can get the second goal pretty early in the second half as well. It's always been exciting to see what they're able to come back in the game there. Very poor pass there from Tete. Expecting a lot from Desmond Tete, but not in the second half. And Hardy is the only goalkeeper who's picked up a ball in the back of the net. Kwambuachi. And now Emmanuel Ano. Still keeping possession, turns beautifully there. A little space for him to go and see he can get straight down to Ifa, who sends the ball back again. Trying to keep possession neat and simple. We'll shoot. And that's certainly going to be a handball scenario there against 11 Wonders. And Frimpong Manso looking on, trying to encourage his players to come back very strongly here. And that's Mohamed Issa is charged to have intercepted the ball with his hand there. And so it's going to be a free kick advantage there to Nations FC.
Yeah, it is. And they've started the second half stronger. Nations FC, they know that there's a game that really gets many goals as the coach, especially playing away from home. It's a game where the 3 points is there for the taking. And you'll be thinking that Frimpong Manso should be proud of what they're doing so far in the opening minutes of the second half.
A poor kick there from Kwambuachi. Good play now. Nations, Ifa turns beautifully, and this time goalkeeper Hardy picks it up beautiful once again.
A good chance to make it two. Good chance to get a brace there. Lovely turn. But then that was a feeble shot. Beating the goalkeeper at that angle. Just look at that lovely skill. To just move the defender the wrong way. He had open space. He had, that space to just bend the ball over the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Festus being the first player to have his name taken there on the foul here.
Yeah, very aggressive there. Very aggressive, quite needless as well. Yatsuin in full control of the ball. Does well to hang on, shield the ball perfectly. But was Festus Nkrumah not allowing him any space at all over him. I think that was the right call. Could see that attempt there also when it starts there. Very, very lucky he wasn't set up for that.
Here comes Ano. And a good turn there from Ano, but again, it's going to be prevented from getting into the final third. Again, I thought he had pretty much of a notch on his lips. And that's the round there from Emmanuel Ano. And again, was stopped there by Hamza Musa.
He had to limited space there. Ano trying to just squeeze himself into that little space left over there, but he's so strong. Not allowing him that space as well.
Never an interesting scenario there for 11 Wonders is that their ratio for goal scoring per match is 0.63, roughly 1 goal every 2 matches.
You talk about factors that has left them, dead in that relegation dogfight or even at the base of the league log. And I think that's one of the main factors. When you're not scoring goals and you're conceding lots of goals, concede 41 and you've not even scored up to 20 goals, after 23 games, it's quite worrying. And for Wonders, yeah, you could count about, a million reasons why they find themselves there. But evidently on the pitch, you need to be scoring. When you have quality, you should be scoring. Some of the fans also got really upset when the team decided to sell their best player in the first round, Frank Aware, during the January transfer window. And it's not really sat well with them since moving him out.
This must shoot. One that's really high as defeat was a 4-1 loss to Hearts of Lions, and a Trump Teresa back in the MTN FA Cup as well. Now they have yet another corner kick to deal with it.
And that was a good decision there, by Ifa to hit that one into that danger zone, but good defending as well to clear that one.
Here comes Brandon Echisapon's ball to the box now. It's a lot of work there in the final third. But again, possession back to Sampson. And Razak is gone to ground there, but again, the referee just looking on and asking players to just continue play. Here comes 11 Wonders. Still charging forward, looking for space there. And yet again, slowing that play, and much of a disappointment though for First Lesson Nkrumah. He felt that it was really in a very advantageous area to get the ball there, but again, a very sluggish play. Now they have to recycle. Just when the Champions ball into the box has been repelled there by Razak Simpson. Back to Hakim Miller. Gets the return of the ball there, Hakim Miller. Also spreading it down to the right-hand side and trying to make sure that at least you have the likes of Farouk coming in. Again, Razak Simpson being the towering defender at the back there. The referee just seeing that offside position against Asamoah.
Well, he would protest because he wasn't interfering with play at that point, and that's where the protest, it's coming from, somewhat from the little bit flag. But the transitioning by Wonders, has been questionable this afternoon, how they love to transition the ball. We've seen them pass, string the passes decently. We need to transition quicker.
I tell you what, that's a number of corner kicks being given out there by 11 Wonders in the second half. Really shocking indeed.
Yeah, and for Nations, they've been at the receiving end, but you ask the question, what have they done with the corners they get in? And it's been quite a number of corners for them from the first half, but nothing meaningful. Maybe the routine, the set-piece routine is not really helping, because whenever they take it, it's so easy. It's either to the far post where there's no one, or it's so easy for the defenders of Wonders to deal with it.
Corner kick here, being taken to the near post, has been repelled there by Wonders. And here comes Anjo. Ebola just been brought down.
And again, you talk about how they want to transition that ball, especially when you're down. There should be some urgency in how you want to transition quicker from defense to attack.
And here they go again, 11 Wonders. Now they have a chance, one. Trying to turn around, squash one. And just side netting it is.
They're quite positive with this one. And it was one thing we've been talking about that has really hampered, their game this afternoon. But that's what you want to do. 2-3 passes, even before the opponent settles, before, they move back into their shape, you need to destabilize them. And that was a good attacking move. Solo move there by Asamoah, who had a shot just come off, at the side net.
Well, those who are talking about the 11 Wonders side and saying that technically, you probably want to say that they are relegation bound, because no team really survived the Premier League with a single-digit point after 20 matches in the history of the league.
Yeah, and at this point, what could save them possibly? Yeah, mathematically they are in it, like everyone says, but realistically, Graham, I don't think they can make it. I don't think they can survive this, and you feel it. You feel it in the way the players play, in their demeanor. You feel that they know that, it's ended for them. There's no way they'll be in the league come next season.
Well, you mentioned how many players Wonders really lost The likes of Ephraim Odro and Osman Zakaria were key members in their qualification. Osman Zakaria giving an assist and scoring the winning penalty in the last play of match against RTU. Now still trying to find spaces here. Gripman here, switching play, and again just Mashoud nearly got the opportunity to push the team forward, and Wonders really have had a very difficult moment there, but they are still not giving up. They probably want to get an equalizing goal. They're still confirming the number of goals scored. Wonders 0, Nations 1. Well, the very last time Nations got to Srejo, they scored first and had a 90th minute equalizing goal against them. And it's Brandon entry Sapon. Brandon in the ball, squares one in here and cleared by Issa. And again, it's going to be a substitution scenario there for 11 Wonders, and the coach is beginning to respond to the pressure. Starting off really hard to deal with.
Well, that was an aggressive one there from Oko Gripman on Ewula. You could see Ewula feeling the impact after that.
They have the likes of Festus and Nkrumah out of the game. One of the things they want to do is make sure that the team is playing the football that they expect. And you probably are looking for Mark Williams Boateng. Was trying to pick up Arnaud. Didn't quite get to him. And Mashoud here sent in another ball to the far post. Once again, nobody really attacking the ball. And it's going to be an opportunity there for the home side Wonders, and Nkrumah in withdrawn. Just looking forward to seeing exactly what will be happening in this game if 11 Wonders are able to get the equalizing goal there. But the substitution made, your take on it?
Yeah, it's an attacking substitution. When you take off Nkrumah, you bring on Emmanuel Boateng with all that experience on the left-hand side. I don't think he'll stick to the left-hand side. He wants to play with some freedom. He would be given the license to roam, but you know, it's a quality he adds to this team. He has been such a pivotal player for them, and having him on the pitch would just give them some boost, you know, morally. But for Nations, if they should allow Wonders to get into this game, that would be a huge blow for them. We've seen them, you know, relinquish leads in games, and especially away from home, and this wouldn't really be good for them. They've been dominant, and it's just unfortunate for them. They've not gotten that second goal, which could be a cushion to allow Wonders to come into the game. I think that would be a huge blow.
It's freaking advantage now to Wonders. Ball sent in, again repelled by Nations FC with a long strike and goes away. Well, again, it's been a very, very quiet second half. Both teams started very aggressively. We expect to see some of the players showing signs that they really will come into the game, but it will be a very good call there for Nations, at least if you're able to get a 3-point.
Yeah, massive, massive. You know, they break that jinx of not winning any game away from home this season. You know, the stress, everything that goes into preparing for an away game, not winning a single one. Not really good for them.
Here comes the opportunity for Suleimana Sohini. Gets the ball into the box. Now it's going to be the second, but the flag had already gone up. They thought he scored a brace.
Yeah, his movement actually caught him there, flat-footed, waiting for that ball. Just didn't care where he was at that point, right behind the last defender. Yeah, that was just so right. No, he was the last one, about half a yard offside there.
Well, again, this Nations FC are still probing, and at least they are looking to get the second goal here. The PS 11 Wonders have recoiled and are not being aggressive as they try to be. That was a lovely piece of work now as the player wiggles his way into the box. Now it's going to be Brandon. Score now with a shot there. Good work by Frederick Zoli. And again, you expect to see Nations FC really coming very much harder here. That's been a champ on. Pretty much a disappointment there for him because he expects to see a lot of work there from his teammates.
Yeah, they have to. They have to. They are turning the heat now. They are doubling up. They are committing more men forward. And that earlier move was just, a great move, promising move there. And Zoli doing all the hard work before teeing up his teammate Brandon Ainchi. And then that shot was blocked. And for Nations, they are really moving the ball so well, so quick, that they are making good use of the half space that's been left by Wonders.
I tell you what, there's a win here for Nations FC. Moves them up to 8th position for 24 games played. They've actually had 7 drawn games in the Premier League and have also lost 9. And they won 8 games there for Nations. Well, that's an interesting statistical move there for Nations FC.
Yeah, it is. But you'd be thinking there's a side that came close to winning the league last season, just 6 points. They lost the league by just 6 points to eventual winners, BBA Gold Stars, and the standards have dropped. But expectations quite high as well going into each and every game. Well, that was cynical, quite cynical there. Should be careful.
Yeah, a yellow card here. Going right to Sohini Sulemana. Well, again, there's a foul here, and yet again, that's a yellow card. But again, the yellow card really going down to Suleiman. I'm not too sure what it was there, but it's the descent, and it's got to be substituted already.
He has to. Frimpong Manso not taking any chances at all. Sohini Sulemana, he's been decent pretty much in midfield this afternoon. But it was for that earlier tackle earlier on. I don't think it's Suhini who gets substituted, though.
Yeah, I mean, he just walks off the pitch there. And Ampofo is being given an opportunity to come in here.
And it's Suhini, actually.
Well, Suhini
he was having a
yellow card there, but again,
well.
you talk about the decision by the referee. I'm sure he might have said something to him. It was booked for dissent, because the infringement was taken on the other side, though, but the yellow card was given just right in front of the referee, so he was shown a yellow card.
Yeah, Mashoud, the culprit, he was lucky to escape, that booking by the referee. But Suhini, like you rightly said, I think it was for dissent, because it was Mashoud Abdullah who, went lunch into that tackle on Asamoah.
Desmond, a champ on there, just standing right behind the ball here. Opportunity now for Wonders to advertise something into the box there, but Sadon will have to pick it up here for Nations FC. Not the best of kicks there from 11 Wonders, playing to the tactical strength of Nations FC. Yet again, a very poor ball on the left foot into the box.
And that free kick from Desmond Champon, aiming at no one in particular.
Just 31 points there for Nations FC in the Premier League. And again, the expectation of the fans of Nations back in Kumasi was that the team was going to really perform wonders. And magically, they haven't really been able to do so.
There was a slip there. Quite unfortunate. Couldn't get full grasp of that ball. I think he should be fine now, Benjamin Tete. Well, sometimes you feel he's been isolated on the right-hand side of attack, but I think as and when he's been played in, you feel his presence as well. In the first half, we saw that bullet of a strike from him that had to be dealt with by Osman Sanon.
Here comes opportunity now for the team here. Nations will have to defend the set piece. It's going to have Living Wonders Desmond and Farouk just behind the ball here, as they try to get something and get the equalizing goal at least to keep them going into the game. And ball pushed in is going to be Desmond Champon. Very, very poor play there from 11 Wonders.
Yeah, but you don't score when you take such awful, dead balls. You just don't score. I don't see how you could even, cause any havoc with that. You could see, yeah, the intentions were so clear. It was Farouk, exchanging that 1-2 quickly with Desmond Champon, but I think execution again with so many question marks around it.
Good play there from Akim Miller. Confirmation of the scoreline here. Still 1-0 in favor of the visitors. Ball sent back to Sanon to restart play. Mac Williams. Good play there from the right fullback position. And Zoli get back to Razak Simpson. And it's going to be the Nations FC keeping the ball. But again, it's going to be Musa winning it there for Nation. 11 Wonders. Once again, another ball into the half there of Isa. Here comes Isa. And again, very poor play once again for 11 Wonders. Not able to show the balls the way the fans expect them to, and haven't really been able to get themselves away from the relegation zone. And so they sit bottom with 9 points out of 24 league games.
Yeah, I think football is an easy game where you make the easy decisions, but not when you try to complicate it. And that's been a problem as well, for Wonders. In midfield, it's been a bit stagnant, though. But the quality there, talk about motivation, attitude.
Well, the referee just seen yet another free kick just in front of the 18-yard box against Aiden Kofi Asamoah. It was a very late tackle from Nations FC.
Yeah, he's been unplayable this afternoon. Yeah, he's not scored, but he does so well with a link-up play. He's dropped deep. Asamoah, we've seen him make all those runs, dragging defenders out of position, and they've struggled all the afternoon to deal with the space as well. Quite diminutive, but he's very pacey as well. And you talk about the fouls. Wonders, have won all afternoon. He's won close to half of these fouls with his movement and pace.
Here comes Farouk with a strike. What a save there from Sanon. Good play, good save.
And when you have a teammate applaud, you feel, yeah, that was a top-notch save there. But in the execution there, just look at the technique to bend that one over the wall. Aiming for the right-hand corner. He does so well. The swerve on it, kept on bending. Sanon just stood his grounds and had to make that save.
And twice ball hit from long range, being parried away there by Sanon. 11 Wonders have really come close to getting equalizing goal. Yet another rebound. And a very poor play there from Mohamed Isa.
Yeah, left alone to deal with the pieces, and rightly so that ball fell to him. But he's trying to hit that ball from a distance. You'd need some level of accuracy and technique to hit that. Isa lacking it a bit, but I think it gives them some respite to regroup and then also try to break again.
Here into the last 20 minutes of the game here at the Srejo Stadium. Wonders 0, Nations 1. Goal scored by Joseph Efa in the 4th minute. That's the only thing separating the two sides, but Nations FC really struggling to get the equalizing goal here. But so far, 20 minutes to go. Your take on the game?
Yeah, it's been cagey. It's been cagey. For Wonders, it's not been bad. We've seen their standards. We've seen their performances so far after 23 games. And, for a side that has won just twice all season, you talk about this performance, barring conceding that early goal, I think it's been pretty much, a substandard performance, but that's what you attribute them with. But for Nations, there's an opportunity for them to just break that jinx. You just don't move from being the best performing away side to one of the worst in the space of a season. And for them, this could really mean a lot to them. If they could walk back to a Brancasse with a maximum point, it would be huge towards their Premier League, survival chances. Getting that foul again, this time on just Mark Williams. He's been quiet. He's been very, very quiet, but defensively, he's given them so much in defense. He's combined so well as well with Brandon up front.
A good chance now for Nations again to get the second, and 11 wonders. Not too sure how the defending really have been. They have been giving the balls away and conceding a lot of corner kicks in the game.
Yeah, you'd credit Nations FC for being a bit charitable, not punishing them for all the balls they've given away in dangerous areas, and also talking about all the fouls they've given. I think in that department they've really lacked a lot this evening. 11 wonders, but Nations are not ruthless as well. They are not the most ruthless side we've seen in the league. Not scoring too many goals away from home as well, and they've really squandered lots of chances.
Substitution there, Desmond Tete and Desmond Champion all out for Felix Akolo and Matthew Amponsa. The two Desmonds have been withdrawn from the game. Well, again, it's going to be how the two players are able to bring in a little bit of energy into the game, with Nations FC still charging and looking for space to shoot their ball, dinked over player Brandon and Chisapong. Again, you asking a lot of questions about whether Nations FC really want to survive the Premier League, or they probably want a bit adjust to the Premier League.
It's about survival. If you're trying to win the league one season, it's quite bizarre to see that same side struggling.
Goalkeeper also gives the ball away. Well, there's going to be tales of dramatic scenarios there in the game. Nations losing opportunities to get the goals there, and 11 Wonders also gifting them the balls there to at least come in attacking number 4 here. Felix Akolo really coming to perform his defensive duties in the game. And Frimpong Master trying to make sure the players are playing their part and sure that they win their matches as well. A shoot. Not the best of clearance here. And still going to be 11 Wonders struggling to get themselves away from the defensive area.
Yeah, sloppy defending as always, 11 Wonders. You talk about how charitable Nations have been as well. We've spoken about the fact that they've not been so ruthless that if you don't get the ball cleared from that dangerous area, you definitely could get punished for it.
Picking signals that Nations might also want to make a substitution. Again, it's the last 15 minutes of the game here at the Stradro Stadium. And 2 changes being made with the introduction of Ayete Ayikwe and the likes of Martin Akogo all being given a chance to play a part there for Nations FC as they get another corner kick.
Yeah, good move there, Abdullah Mashoud. He loves racing down the right-hand side. Quite unstoppable sometimes when he's on his bike. And he's won quite a number of corners for Nations FC this afternoon. with those runs.
Well, again, you're just withdrawing Brandon and Chisapong. And, the likes of, and also having Abdullah Mashoud also being withdrawn in the game as well. He's played his part there. He's been pretty much busy this afternoon in the game there, hasn't he?
He has. He's shown everything, done so well. Covered so much distance and ground in this game. Well, they've struggled to deal with the space, and it was that last run from him that actually won them the corner kick they are about to effect.
And again, you have Brandon Entry out, Abdullah Mashoud out, and Martin Akogo, and you also have the likes of Yite Ayukwe being given a chance to come in here. Corner kick taken, beautifully done. Akogo here for 11 Wonders. Still, it's 1-0 there for Nations FC.
I was expecting that foul, Felix. He was expecting it. None given. You had two Nations FC, tailing him down to the corner flag.
Here comes Sampofu. He's going straight to the waiting arms of goalkeeper Hardy. And the recovery there for 11 Wonders pretty sloppy. The balls are sent into the opposition half. They are not advancing in numbers to at least put some breaks there on the defensive line of Nations. As Mohamed Issa is being pushed down. And Shanwi, pretty much one of the most exciting players in midfield there for 11 Wonders. And Yikwe is a culprit here, but nudging the player from behind.
Quite unassuming. Issa, he loves to drive the ball forward, but sometimes due to lack of support, he ends up being frustrated, and that's what he's showing now. Especially when you want to drive forward, you expect runs to be made. At least it gives you options, to pick up someone on the run, but we've not really seen that a number of times from Wonders, and that's where sometimes these midfielders get frustrated a bit. They have the quality if they want to string the passes, but in the second half, we've not seen them do that. They've rather resorted to the long balls from deep.
Here comes Ayukwe. And Hardy has been allowed to collect this ball as we approach the last 10 minutes of the game here at the Stradio Stadium. Wonders conceding as early as the 4th minute, and again, they give the ball away. They've been gifting Nations FC lots of the cherries on a single plate there, well decorated for them.
And that's where you ask, how clinical Nations FC have been this afternoon. They've not really been clinical. They've ended up, receiving so many balls in the attacking third. Some due to sloppy passing or even on forced errors by Wonders, but there's nothing really, made of it. And that's why the score still remains 1-0. It's a game where you think it could have been 3 or even 4 for Nations FC if they had been a bit more clinical.
Ayukwe. Mark Williams Boateng. And here comes Martin Akogo. Back to Mark Williams Boateng. Advertise the ball into the box. Another header comes out here from Ifat. Similar to what he did score in the first half. But this time, not lucky.
Yeah, similar move. Again, it was a glancing header. It was the movement of Ifat. Again, eluding the defender. Not seeing him, coming from the blind side of that defender. Again, and that was Miller.
Ayukwe in the box now. And they're just blasting the ball wide. The substitutes. Again, 42% possession there for Wonders and 58% for Nations. Again, leading possession there, Nations FC, and they have a goal to show for it.
They are, but I don't think that the scoreline is a real, reflection of what we've seen this afternoon. Quite a number of chances falling Nations FC way. Again, it's all about decision making in the attacking third.
Tell you what, you take a look at the teams on the relegation zone. Young Apostles, Hull United, 11 Wonders. Are they new entrants in the Premier League? And there you have another opportunity for Nations FC to get the second goal.
They keep fluffing the chances, and at this point, if you're from Pomonzo, you're hoping that you just don't give one chance away for Wonders to come back into the game. That was another lovely turn, hitting that one on the swivel. You know, it's a good turn there. Had to show a bit of strength there. If just look at that narrowed angle, but again, not precise to hit the back of the net.
Zampofo's ball, the body of a Nations FC player. Well, talking about the relegation zone player teams, Young Apostles 16th, Hull United surprisingly 17th, and 11 Wonders. Is there any respite there for Brecum Chelsea, who sit 15th and 14th to draw Blacks?
They should, especially when they are playing at home, you know, in front of the home crowd this weekend. And it's all about the points you pick up. You know, a point away from home, 3 points at home. You know, it builds the momentum and it gives you, some breathing space. Also, it's always, suffocating down there, especially going into the game knowing that the moment you drop points, then you could fall further below. It becomes a problem for most of these teams, and it takes so much experience and courage, to just, wriggle your way out of trouble at that point. You talk about a new entrant, and yeah, it's really a problem for them.
Number 4. Well, a big surprise there for Hull United is the team. The very first time they have a Premier League side, and now they sit 17th, just relegation bound. Well, the best of news there for the young community. It needs to have a football team in the Premier League. That's how young they are. In the Premier League, this is the first time they have a team, and now it doesn't really look good for them, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't, and they wouldn't want to lose that Premier League status by next season. It's all about what football does to the community. It's all about what the Ghana Premier League brings, to the community. It's always exciting whenever they play at home. The fans ride behind them. This time a somewhat caught again, sandwiched between two players. Mark Williams, one of them. And you talk about his foul winning ability, and it's really been impressive this afternoon. Anytime he's on the move, he's certain to win a foul.
They have a free kick. 11 Wonders once again. They have another opportunity where they talk about the fact that the very last time Nations FC got to the Studio Stadium, they scored early, and they got a 90th minute equalizer against the home side, Studio Blacks. And now they have things to deal with it. And Sanon really making sure he organizes well, pretty well. A very low ball taken there by Farouk. But I just want to tell you something there, Josiah. So the point build-up between Dreams FC's 27 points, All Blacks 27 points, Brecum Chelsea 27 points, Young Apostles 26 points, Hull United 24. Anything really can happen here?
It's tighter than you're thinking, Graham. It's so tight that you just need to take advantage of wherever you're playing, especially if you're playing at home, and that's how you calculate the point build-up. Especially when you play at home, you know that you need to pick up all 3 points.
Well, it's got an opportunity, and Nations FC nearly got the equalizing goal there, but they still have a chance of possession back in. Sano point the ball back. Well, they call for a penalty. Referee looks on, hasn't said anything. It is Farouk trying to get the team back into the game, but that was very close there for Nations FC to have gotten it. Well, 11 Wonders to have had equalizing goal there, but they have the opportunity to go forward. Once again, ball sent to the left-hand side. Akogo can't just pick it up.
Yeah, it was just one move by the experienced Emmanuel Boateng, drifting to the left-hand side, one deadly cross into the box, but that was that penalty call again, and we have the benefit of the replay there to see if that arm was in the natural position or not, but Can see a Wooler still protesting to the referee, thinking that should have been a penalty. We spoke about a moment in the game, just one good moment, one quality moment can change everything. And that nearly happened there. But where's the call? Yeah, comes off the arm of Nzonle. Should be very fortunate the referee doesn't or didn't point to the spot.
Well, nearly never kills a bird, but they were nearly there. 11 wonders. Confirmation of the scoreline here still remains 1-0 for Nations FC as we approach the end of the game. Tell you what, this will be the 6th defeat there for 11 wonders in the Premier League, confirming their status as a team relegation bound. And they're still on advantage there with the introduction of the likes of Matthew Amponsa, who is really tormenting Nations FC now. He's combining effectively the likes of Farouk and Emmanuel Boateng as well.
He's added some bite up front for them. He's also making good use of the spaces left for him to operate. You know, he loves to always be on the run. He loves to take on defenders.
Go. Yeah.
And still have another opportunity to go forward there, Farouk. And Farouk advertised another low ball. Just goes wide.
Yeah, we saw a spectacular hit from him. You know, in the second half, he had to force a full stretch save from Sanon. But the subsequent deliveries, you know, from dead ball situations for Farouk hasn't really been that impressive. It's been far too easy for Sanon to deal with these balls now.
Still trying to go in there, and Simpson just got the ball away. Very interesting play there from these two teams.
Yeah, and it's Farouk there on the turf. And, you know, despite the fact that he started at the right back position for Wonders, he's enjoyed, you know, just storming forward each and every time they're in attack.
Trying to make a substitution. Ahmed's out for Alberto Fori. And into the 90th minute. And the situation here means that you're going to have Wonders. We have 4 minutes of added time. Again, trying to see how best they'll be able to come in here. And again, it's going to be Nations FC with Emmanuel Ano charging here. Emmanuel Ano again is being picked up. And Hardy. I do have a concern. Yeah, the referee's been boo there by the fans. Just expressing their disappointment and frustration. She's trying to go in here, just in the other time. Well, they're still looking forward to getting something done. Here comes another opportunity there for Ifat to see if he can get a goal. Again, it's just trying to make sure that there's a lot of talk there from the Wonders officials, the match officials, and the card will have to come out here. And there will be a lot of a talking point here about the decision there with match officials, and of course the cards coming out. So the fans expressing their frustration. And there they go again. Nations. And Ano was been put through. Goalkeeper is off his line. A second goal on the way there for Nations. A second goal is coming. Emmanuel Ano finally registered a second goal for Nations FC. Cementing the win and cementing their place. Perhaps positioning on the Premier League log from 12 to 8. And again, clearly sending the signals there to Wonders. Their time on the journey for the Premier League season is almost over, and that is how he damaged the goalkeeper and found his way to get the ball planted on the back of the net there. And the 2-0 scoreline clearly is written there for Nations FC. Well, a lot of drama happening on the bench there between Wonders officials and the match officials, and capitalizing on that momentum, or perhaps a moment of loss of concentration. And the goal scorer is already out there, and his play is taken by Richard Danso, but he credits his performance at least with a goal here, and that is the story for Nations FC. Lots of debates, the performance of the match officials, and talking points about what really transpired on the bench there, and how Wonders did not pay attention to the activities on the pitch there. And clearly they have to find a way to deal with the scenario. Another ball into the box, and nearly got a third goal. Oh, they really having a Yikwe. You know, an indication that something would have to happen here. So the scoreline has been confirmed. 4 minutes, it's got a goal there from Joseph Efa, and now Emmanuel Ano sealing the points for Nations. Again, we'll be asking what really is happening to Wonders, whether the journey in the Premier League really has been toppled, and there's nothing that can be done to keep them afloat. Well, for Nations, they're excited. At least they would have been 8th on the Premier League log. And Wonders continue in their current scenario there. They lost 2-0 away to Karela, and now they are trailing by 2-0 against Nations FC. And so their 6th game in a row, they have failed to register a goal in their last 6 matches in the Premier League Wonders. 9 points so far in 24 games, and that means that they are relegated in the Premier League, at least for now. And so you're looking forward to seeing what really happens to Nations FC. Now they move up to 8th position from 12, and that will be a very good sign there for the side in the Premier League. Nations up 31 points now, and they have won 8 games so far. They have drawn 7 and lost 9. 2 goals here. It means that Hamza Musa will be the man of the match there. Wonders player, very disappointed. The story is not changing anytime soon. 9 points out of 24 games. Not the best of performance from the Premier League entrance there. But it finished here at the Sergio Stadium. Wonders 0, Nations 2.
Our Friday kickoff game ends here at the Swedro Stadium, and it's the away side, Nations FC, that have managed to pick up their very first away win of the season. It took them until match week 24 to do that. Goes from Joseph Ifa and then also Emmanuel Ano, propelling them to a convincing 2-0 win at the expense of 11 Wonders. I've been joined here at pitchside by the head coach of Nations FC in the person of Frimpong Manso. Coach, congratulations.
Yeah.
How do you feel now after picking up your very first away win of the season?
No, it's very important. Since the start of the league, we haven't won away. This happens to be our first away game, and looking at the timing, I think it's very important, and we are happy for that.
You were the best, or one of the best performing away teams last season. What accounted for the drop in quality, and how do you see this win to lift you, trying to drift away from relegation?
No, if you look at the way we started, you could see along the line we lost so many players, so we need to build, especially the midfield, a new midfield, and also there were new players also coming in. So yes, it has taken us some time, but I think now we are getting to get things in order.
There were quite a number of issues, with regards to your preparation for this game. Limited, time to even prepare and warm up. But what do you make of the first half of this game and how you were able to slot in and adjust to the conditions?
No, it was. I don't know. We told them to take their time because we did not get time to warm up. If you don't take time, you might get injuries. So yes, you could see the first 15, 20 minutes. We were lucky at that time to get a goal, so that gave us some comfort to build on that. So yes, it was very good to get to be able to when we got the first goal. Yeah, because we had our car broke down, and you saw the time we came in here. Yeah. It was warm up was over, so we have to come in just like that. So the boys who could see fatigue set in almost. So for me, I think it was a good result.
But talk to me about one of your best performing players today, Emmanuel Ano. He was on 7 goals. In the reverse fixture, he scored 3 times a hat-trick. He went home with a match ball. Today, he scored again. You know, how crucial is that goal after ending that drought of, close to 5 games?
You could see we were leaning on a single goal. And a single goal, if you are not lucky, it can, you might even make a mistake, and then just like our last home game, we were leading 1-0, and then we conceded 1. So the second goal made us very comfortable, but then we knew we had won the game.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah,
and wishing you a safe trip back to Abrankese. So that's the head coach of our Nations FC, Frimpong Manso. He is just, okay with the performance they put up today to pick up their very first away win of the season. 2-0 Nations FC won in this particular game at the Swedro Stadium. It was Joseph Ifa who scored in the 4th minute, and then also right before full time, it was Emmanuel Ano with his 8th goal of the season. His 8th goal of the season, and 4 of the 8 goals he scored this season have come against 11 Wonders. And now joining me is the head coach of the losing team today, 11 Wonders, Emmanuel Edu. Coach, how frustrating is it for you? 18 defeats so far this season, and what do you make of this particular one?
It has always been like that sometimes. You saw the game yourself. Sometimes the frustration from different direction. I don't want to mention. I don't want to be a victim of. You understand me? It's just unbearable. You see, you do over whatever you have to do. And then the results will come from somewhere. I don't know. You saw it. You saw the game, right?
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay,
but that's your salvation.
Okay. But you see, it's just unfortunate. But we're not going to give up. Like I told you from the beginning, it's a competition that we are in, and we will need to be a competitor to the end of it. So. We will not give it up. Yeah.
You spoke about the fact that motivation is not there. It's really affecting the performance of these players. But you look at the game you played, conceding very, very early into the game. You think that destabilized you a bit?
I did not say motivation from our end. You saw the grounds weren't conducive for us to win the game because some people, keep on pulling the strings. You saw it. Except that you don't want to understand or you don't want to accept what I'm saying.
Should you have won a penalty?
Okay, now you are telling me, isn't it?
I'm asking, should you have won a penalty?
Yes, of course.
You think you should?
Yeah, we should. Yeah. But he knows better, so we just give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Thank you very much and commiserations. That's the head coach of 11 Wonders, Emmanuel Edu. His side lost today, 2-0 to Nations FC, and it doesn't really look good for them because after 24 games, they've lost so many games now. This is actually the 18th time or 19th time actually they are losing in the league, which is more than any other side. I'm now here with the man of the match. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
But who game is saying?
Game hard. Pranks and the coach says, unfortunately, no one
now, then a ham will give him then a ham will give him because me who preparations no warm up BBR was spot on. Then a ham.
Near marketing TV, Anna Muslim photos so near fasting. I fasting so now fasting so say I know the ultimate opponent in your pet so the minimum side need by fasting is with my fasting is also count.
Now, Oshe baby, I'm there. Ujidi says, "You are relegating one." I say, "Because we are akun."
Oh, me engine this idea, game ne dey enye they are intimate decide.
Say then as a player and a watch man of the match performance you good then I'll share say when you I bet me about team amun relegation.
The yan say be focus na the coach be can ya tie eno ano. Tie ba match bia you make sure say you be for 3 points no say you be pay lose.
Okay, Medasi, congratulations once again.
Thank
Say
you.
with me, Ajay, man of the match. So that's the man of the match in this game. He plays for 11 Wonders. Unfortunately, they lost, but then he played his heart out and he managed to be adjudged the man of the match. It's still the post-match analysis here in the Friday kickoff game. 11 Wonders, they've lost to Nations FC. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more. Welcome back. It's still live. We are still live here on TV3 as well as on Nia TV. Friday kickoff game ending in favor of the away side. Nations FC grabbing a vital away win here. 2-0. It ended in favor of the Abrankesi-based side. And Frimpong Manso quite elated with the performance, and he believes that after grabbing this vital away win, they would continue putting up impressive performances. My name is Josiah Okokwe. I'm still here with Nana Andy Sinase. Nana, it was a very, very cagey game. You know, when they started, you could still feel the tempo was a bit low. You know, later on, we felt the tempo rising. But you think this was the best possible result from such a game?
I think we said it earlier on, because I told you that the way Nations had problem on the way, we should pray that it shouldn't eat into them in the second half. And you could see that from the way the game started in the second half. They were found wanting because Wonders were pushing. So, you know, the second goal came before Nations recovered. And the way we saw the game from the first half, I think what can come, can come. It has happened, and there's nothing we can do about it.
But at this point, from the Wonders' point of view, have they been condemned to relegation, you think this is the win that actually condemns their fate and there's no Premier League football for them next season?
They have long been condemned. Not this game. They have long been condemned because you are playing in a game and it's 23 games down the line and you have, I think, 9 points. I mean, you are condemned. You don't need to be told that you are condemned. They are goners.
They are goners. But let's talk about the other side. Vital away win. We've spoken about the fact that, yeah, they've gone the entire season without winning a single away game. Now you come here under all this extreme circumstances and you grab this away win. How crucial would this be to their Premier League survival chances?
When you look at how do we call nations, they started the game when we were talking about it. We said they have not won an away game. They have not been good travelers. And like seriously, today the game one will bring from Paul Manson out of whatever he thinks he is doing. Because I had a word with him just after the game, and he was telling me he's very happy with the results because the things that happened to them before getting to this place, he's happy they've won the game.
But you talk again about Frimpong Manson. How crucial will it be for a coach like that? You know, last season he was in BBA, you know, celebrating a league victory. Now he's here, things are not going so well. But, you know, at this point, you think, yeah, he has that belief that if it should continue this way, then he could also repeat or replicate what he did with the Gold Stars.
He can repeat, but not with this team. And now, for this season, he will only fight for survival. If he survives, then next season he will look into things and maybe he will bring some fresh players on board and it will change the fortunes of the team. But for them coming to grab the leg like he did in BBN, for that one, no, I don't think it can happen.
With Emmanuel Edu, we saw the tantrum. We saw, you know, the complaints and, you know, all the criticisms that came his way. But you think his team deserved something from this game? Look at how they played and all the complaints and the protests about the penalty not given to them.
You know, the man in the middle has his eyes the different way he saw it and the different way we also saw it, because we were all shouting penalty and he didn't take it. So for that one, you are a coach. You can complain and complain, but, you know, you are down. And when you are down, there's nothing you can do. Because when you are climbing a tree and somebody is down with you, what you do is you tap him for not overpass you. So that is what is happening to their team now.
Emmanuel Abunano scored again for the 8th time this season. He has scored a goal, and you know, you look at a player. We spoke about him prior to the commencement of the game. His injuries, you know, the setback and all that. How crucial is that for a striker of his caliber?
Yeah, this will help him to get maybe some more goals before the end of the season, because he was injured. He went back and now he's back on the field. After the game, I called him and he was saying, "Coach, I'm still out near you." And I said, "You have scored a goal, so keep on fighting. Don't let the fire go down. Let the fire keep on burning." So I think he's doing well, and maybe at the end of the season, he can go with maybe a double the gate. And that
he is now 2 behind the league's top scorer now in Atakumi. How crucial, how cagey would that be between the two? Because we've seen him whenever he's in his element, you know, he loves to score. Atakumi loves to score for Gold Stars. Are we in for, you know, a run?
Yeah, the two of them can do something, but normally what is happening is our goals are not coming like it uses to come, because we are in the 23rd week, right? And they have scored. We are talking about 8 and I think 9 or 10. I mean, they have to improve upon the goal scoring.
All right. Thank you very much, Nana Andy Sinnerson. And that's where I will wrap up with today's presentation live from the Swedro Stadium. It was the first game of match day 24 here, where 11 Wonders they lost for the 19th time this season to Nations FC. Nations FC picking up their very first win away from home this season in the Ghana Premier League. Thanks so much to you, Nana Andy Sinnerson, for your time here today at Pitchside, and to you too who made time to watch this presentation on TV3 as well as on Yat TV. My name is Josel Kukui, and from everyone here, we say goodbye. Sunday is Kotoko taking on Vision FC.
In the heart of Ghana, a nation